Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us on our webinar, Move Smarter with Integrated Mobility. This is a collaboration that's provided to you by Lowry Solutions and SOTI, and it'll be presented by me, Nick D'Agostino, the Lowry Solutions Product Manager, Rishi Dave, the SOTI Account Executive, and Damon Greaves, the SOTI Sales Engineer. Just a quick introduction about Lowry. We've been in business for over 40 years. Lowry Solutions has been implementing technology innovations nationwide. We have more than 10,000 clients, and we're recognized as an industry leader in enterprise mobility solutions. We do provide best-in-class partnerships. On display is one of them today with SOTI. So we're proud to be able to bring you this information, and we just wanted to give you guys a little background on who we are and what we do. Our process for success always begins with discovery. We then begin the planning phase, implementation, and then we always support you throughout your customer journey. And in addition to that, we do access, evaluate, and execute. And that involves use case analysis of any solutions, operational and functional reviews, environmental regulatory needs, security requirements, technology evaluation, proof of concept, and accessory design. So to begin our portion on EMM, I wanted to start with an overview on some of the product that we'll be presenting today, its key features. It is SOTI Mobi Control, but they've also come out with a new platform, SOTI One, which we'll get into as well. Some of the key benefits that this product offers is remote support, which is huge for IT admins because you can access any device remotely and usually fix it right then and there. Tracking and geofencing devices, which allow you to put around perimeters around buildings to prevent devices from being stolen or locked down if they are. Monitoring and live alerts, which is always good to know where something is and what just happened with that particular device. KPI dashboards, real-time asset inventory, data collection and reporting, and an application catalog. And in addition to that, we do offer all of our customers a 30-day free trial for SOTI Mobi Control. So why is it important to have MDM and something like SOTI Mobi Control? It's really important because security, which is probably one of the most important, because currently we're at a point where Windows Mobile is at end of life, which means it's no longer receiving security packages. So all of those devices are vulnerable. With SOTI, you can push updates, you can flash new OSs on certain devices, and it really gives you the ability to do things like a compliance check, asset control, or retire old devices and enroll new ones. It also helps you discover unused resources. So when you lose a barcode scanner and you don't know where it went, you can always have that report to your network and know exactly where it is. That makes it so you're spending less time looking for things and then a lot more time actually being productive. And then you also gain access into efficiency reports. As I mentioned briefly, one of the main assets for the administrators is immediate remote support, and then custom views in your dashboard, and then accessing it from any web browser, which we'll show you shortly here. So remote support, this is a big one because people use things like TeamViewer or GoToMeeting sometimes for problem solving and troubleshooting sessions. From your dashboard, when you're logged into SOTI Mobi Control, you can actually see the screen of the device you're working on and work on it in real time. So this will be covered in our demo, but I just wanted to give you a brief overview of what it looks like so you can know which questions to keep in mind as we go through this. Tracking and geofencing. We recently had a customer who was a major bank that was very interested in this feature. They had sensitive data that was being stored on those devices, such as mortgage information, and they needed to create a perimeter around that building so that if that asset left that perimeter, it had to be wiped because the data is very sensitive and financial. Monitoring and live alerts. So you'll see when you walk out of that perimeter, for example, in my last one, you can say you're leaving the building. And then the next time you can make it so the device locks down or completely wipes so it gets rid of any of the data that's stored on that. You can also have it so it sends messages to your administrator, and it can block access to certain things so that you can't get the information going outbound anywhere and be seen by someone who's not authorized. This is a quick look at the dashboard. It simplifies the management of large, complex mobility deployments. So you can customize this dashboard to the way that you think is most useful, but out of the box looks like this, and you can see things like available memory on the devices, the battery status, the device manufacturer, which model it is, and then obviously who the device belongs to. The KPI dashboards can help you drill down more in depth into that information. And then it also allows for support for bulk admin actions. So this is, for example, if you needed to wipe tons of devices that are being retired, you can just select an entire grouping, then you can click wipe. Are you sure that you want to do this? Yes, and then they can go ahead and flash all of them and put them back to a factory mode. You also can get your KPIs in the form of reports. So the on-demand reports that you can generate go to a CSV file. You can have them emailed out. You can collect data about anything on the device, and it gives you an immense ability to increase efficiencies by having those data insights. And then an application catalog, which is another big one that our customers really find useful, is if you have access to the Google Play Store or the Apple Store, you can customize your own catalog so that they can only access and download authorized applications. So you could make sure that Angry Birds is definitely blocked, Fortnite is blocked, but if they ever needed to download Google Docs or Microsoft Excel, that would be available in your application catalog. And for the IT geeks out there like myself, there are different types of employments. There's actually 3 of them. We offer the cloud customers, which means that you don't have to have any hardware, install any VMs, and you can run SOTI Mobi Control that way. Other customers who like to keep things within their 4 walls prefer an on-prem. And then there's also a hybrid where you can host the instance of SOTI, but we can manage the deployment and offer those professional services to get you off the ground and running, but without having to invest in the hardware. And finally, before I pass the baton to Rishi, we do offer a 30-day trial. So you're going to see a demo shortly here. And if you're interested in this, reach out to Lowry, and we will be happy to get you a 10-device 30-day trial. And you can have that in cloud instance, or you can have that on-prem. Okay.
Thank you, Nick. That was a great overview of what we can do together. In terms of what role we play as a SOTI One platform in supply chain, I'm going to take you through an overview of what SOTI does in general, and what role we play in helping our customers achieve their goal. So in order for your enterprise to better manage a mobile function, you need to take in stock of your mobile strategy. Is your mobile strategy enabling you to know where your trucks are, determine what products are in the trucks or in the warehouse? Are you able to determine the most profitable routes and exact time of delivery? If not, we at SOTI can help. With our SOTI One platform, we take the complexity out of your business mobility. So, for the ones who are not familiar with the SOTI One platform, the SOTI One platform is an integrated suite of mobility solutions. It addresses the core challenges that enterprise face with mobility. Now, we'll talk more about what SOTI One platform is and what it can do for your business in a moment, and we'll also show that in the demo. So who are we today? So SOTI for the last 93 quarters has been profitable. That's a testament of our service and commitment to our customers. Our average revenue growth for the last 5 years has been 40%, which is unheard of in this industry. And 93% of our revenue comes from exports. The result, we have more than 17,000 customers in 176 countries. For the last 3 years, SOTI has been awarded as the fastest growing technology company in North America by Deloitte. And recently, a CEO, Carl Rodriguez, was presented with the Entrepreneur of the Year award. So that shows the amount of progress we have made, during the course of time. In, in order for us to have a connected mobile environment in an increasing complex environment, IT faces a lot of challenges. This complexity is born out of the struggle with mobile governance. Essentially, managing the access of people, devices, things, and applications is really important. Also, access management is compounded by the fact that IT is also struggling to keep their data secure, or simultaneously is trying to meet the needs of their business. So on the right-hand side, you see some stats in terms of the impact of mobility in companies and in IT. 84% of IT respondents indicated that they were very concerned about the threat of malware to their mobile applications. In addition, 49% of the workers said that they are either unable to do their jobs or their jobs are seriously impaired without their devices. Also, 60% of IT departments have reported a large app development backlog, and 37% are saying that they face a shortage of app developers. Much of this is complicated, in 2010. In the past, mobility was limited to warehouses, your front offices, and in drivers' hands. Essentially, each department was working in a silo. Now we have a ton of devices, mobile applications, social media, cloud computing, mobile payments, machine-to-machine connectivity, and wireless technology. All this needs to be managed in a simpler and a secure way. So how will your business benefit from this emerging hyper-connectivity? The answer is simple. Stay better connected to your supply chains. Well, many enterprises are aware that mobility enables high level of automation and connectivity and can become an anchor to a comprehensive transportation management. However, 80% of cargo is still transported by trucks. Compare that to by 8% by air, 6% by pipeline, 4% by rail, and 2% by water. Yet 50% of transportation enterprises are still using a manual process for route planning, dispatching, tracking, and load building. By adhering to manual processes, enterprises are limited in streaming their operations, scheduling, paper processes, and government regulations impact workflow and productivity. Some common inefficiencies in businesses like yours are the lack of visibility into scheduling, lack of real-time information, bottlenecks result in enterprise ability to be agile. So you may have experienced not being able to locate a truck in order to complete a new order. And that needs to be shipped, or many have lost a container, which incurs in unwanted expenses. Or when you weren't able to pinpoint a driver that has missed a scheduled delivery time or passage or a pickup. Paper processes can also cause low productivity, which impacts wait times at loading docks, increasing delivery times, and even hours of services, errors and delays in billing and collection. And inaccurate shipping information results in waste of time in shipping of items to correct addresses. Constant adherence to compliance and regulations means constantly adjusting to internal processes. So what that all is unpredictable arrival time of vehicles and can impact areas of your business. Your warehouse, which is often soiled from your other operations, will be unable to accurately prepare scheduled loads. And when a freight is not ready at your loading dock, this results in increasing wait times when a driver arrives, increasing labor cost, slower service, and can result in penalties from a third-party carrier. And if ride revenue is forecasted to grow by 75% in 2026, it is crucial to have a mobility strategy to better eliminate inefficiencies and eliminate greater visibility for your on-site workers and enable synchronization for your supply chain. You need to move supply chain to a connected, high efficient ecosystem. That means being able to anticipate from disruptions to what if situation and adjusting dollars. Supply and demand results will come from any endpoint, such as lack of raw material, plant shutdown, but this will be visible with an integrated digital or mobile solution. Companies with highly digitized supply chain and operations can expect efficiency gain of 4.1% annually, while boosting revenue of 2.9% per year. Leading enterprises have embraced mobility in IoT in their transportation logistics. They recognize their connected endpoints independence means having the ability to protect sensitive data, and this brings us back to the complexity of mobility. Business employees just want to be connected. However, most IT departments don't know what type of devices or mobile operating systems his workforce will choose in the next, say, month, 6 months, or 12 months out. The minimum of mobile devices, mobile communications is growing exponentially. Adding this to the challenge are shortened device life cycles, privacy concerns, security risks, development cost, immature mobile application development tools, lack of mobile-friendly legacy applications, and competing applications and increasing end-user demand for seamless experience. All this adds to the level of complexity. Connected vehicles do not bring full value to organizations like yours. While most vehicles have an ODB2 port that offers diagnostic information, how does that information flow to the rest of your business, benefit your drivers, dispatchers, and other back office staff? What happens if there are new regulations that drivers need to be aware of? Can the latest rules and forms be pushed to drivers' devices so that they can educate themselves and be compliant? Are you able to track that they have completed any necessary training? By the end of this year, your company may have to electronically show that a driver is compliant with service regulations. And as an enterprise, you may want to be alerted that a driver has started driving and that their driving time is logged automatically to a backend system so you can generate a report to show compliance. By implementing mobile device and IoT within your organizations, your enterprise will benefit and differentiate from others. You could, for example, present distracted driving. You can also log issues immediately and get accurate data from your workforce and vehicle. You can increase your workforce productivity as well. You can get better fuel efficiency because you are more connected. You can be compliant with government regulations, and you can improve the overall communication with different parts of your business, helping you drive profitability. With the increases in transportation cost, production efficiency at peak times, inventory and product line maintenance, and new emerging technologies and economic regulations, enterprises need to be more organized to ultimately remain competitive. So what does SOTI One platform do for your business? With our SOTI Snap, our rapid app development solution, you can secure and manage your mobile and IoT endpoints with SOTI Mobi Control, our enterprise mobility management solution. You can even support your drivers remotely with SOTI Assist, which we believe is the industry's first designed for mobile help desk solution. You can get intelligence on your operations in order to tune your business with SOTI Insight, our business intelligence solution, and you can connect all your automated IoT endpoints with SOTI Connect, our IoT solution, as well as leverage your existing investments in your equipment today and make them IoT enabled. And finally, we have an environment where you, SOTI, and SOTI's partners can work together to build solutions that make sense for your business with your SOTI collaborative solution. So it's important to know that each and every solution works on its own to solve today's challenges that you face in your business. But working together can actually help you reinvent your business to meet the challenges of tomorrow. SOTI One keeps your workers working, builds your applications faster, and makes it easy and secure for you to manage your mobile devices. It delivers intelligence and interoperability to deal with the explosion of new technology arising from IoT. So whichever devices you choose for your mobility strategy, by using SOTI One for your business, you can move away from manual processes and improve efficiency. Through mobility, you can save your time, money, and improve service. So that's a little bit about SOTI One platform. What is also important in our partnership and working with Lowry is the process flow that we have put in place for our customers. So as soon as we identify an opportunity, we, along with Lowry, do a discovery call, which is followed up by a SOTI One demo, which is tailored to what we are trying to present and relevant to your business problems. Once we do that, we create a mutual plan with our customers, and we have a schedule in terms of how we are going to process the proof of concept with SOTI, which is followed up by the SOTI Mobi Control trial. Now, the complete deliverables of the entire project are mentioned in the mutual plan. So if you're trying to complete the project in 30 days, we constantly keep on checking what the deliverables are, and if they are met, we move forward with the process. If not, we go back to the mutual plan, work on the dates, and then move forward. On a successful conversion of the proof of concept, we convert that into a production environment and go live. So that's a little bit on the processes. Now, I would ask Damon to show you the live presentation of SOTI One platform.
Okay, thanks a lot, Rishi. Great job. And Damon, we can see your screen. You have the login page up, so you're good to go.
Perfect. Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Damon Greaves, sales engineer here at SOTI, and I'm going to be doing a demonstration of the SOTI One platform and how it can provide value within the transportation logistics industry. So as Rishi has mentioned before in his presentation, that industry has a lot of different business challenges, from fuel costs, business processes, regulations, the environment, and even technology strategy. So let's kind of break down a couple of those challenges and see what problems we can identify with them. So from a technology standpoint, you are looking for devices to help mandate with some of these regulations, government regulations you get. So now you have to find a field of hardware that you can use. On top of that, now you need a layer of software to help support those specific devices. And then you have some other questions that may pop up. How do you secure these devices? How can you locate them? How can you make sure you enable productivity for your drivers and also to prevent any sort of distracted driving? If there are any issues with the device they have, how do you troubleshoot them when they're all the way on the other side of the country, right? And another added thing you need to look at as well is there may be a lot of processes that exchange hands throughout business processes that exchange hands, multiple hands. How can we kind of automate that and eliminate that a little bit and digitize that process down? So that's what I'm going to go over with you today with this demo of SOTI One. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into one of our main flagship products, SOTI Mobi Control. So I'm at the login page. I'm just going to log in. And now I'm here at my SOTI Mobi Control dashboard. This is the main dashboard where about 80% of your time is going to be essentially set. So to start off, I'm just going to give a quick overview. So over on the left-hand side, we have what we call our device tree. So this allows you to sort of segment your lines of business, your drivers, the different warehouses you may have, and able to cascade them down. Moving over to the right, we have our dynamic charts. And these charts provide you information based upon properties we grab from the devices within your device fleet. So initially, you'll see the last connected date. So when were the last times your device is connected, the manufacturer and the model, along with device OS version, what type of devices they are. And I even have one here for network strength. We can add more charts depending upon what you're looking for. So I can click on the plus sign, either use the built-in charts or create a custom chart. And these will be providing you different properties depending upon the chart that you choose. Now, another added benefit of the SOTI Mobi Control is the ability to search for your devices. Now, currently, my instance currently has 32 devices in total, but you may have 100 to 500 to maybe 1,000 devices, all of them listed in front of your face here. So what is a quick way to find and filter out my devices? So I utilize our search function for this. I can create a quick keyword search, so I can just look for Samsung as an example. And out of my 32 devices, 13 of those devices are Samsung. Again, that's a generic, search. Very simple, very easy. But what's really interesting about our search is our search can be very granular. We can search for over 170 different properties that we grab within our system. So let's dig a little bit deeper here. So I'm going to look for a manufacturer is Samsung and OS version is less than 8.0. So when I run this search, now I've brought my my device list down to 7 devices. So now I have 7 devices here. You notice that my charts have also changed. It only shows Samsung for my manufacturer and model and the device OS version as well. So here are my devices sitting right over here. And my device is this one over here, which has my username. So I'm just going to do a quick refresh. Oh, looks like and now that I have my list of devices, I have a few actions that I can take. So one, I can select all my devices here and execute actions against them. So the first thing I want to do in this case is I'm going to select this device. I can see the different actions I have. I have the ability to remote control the device, report an incident, delete the device, unenroll, send a message, send a script, lock it, or allow the device to check in. I also have a few other actions that I can also enable. The next thing I can also do here is I can initiate something called a remote control. So I'm going to remote control this device. And just give it a second to load up. And so here's the device right now that currently is in our office. And it's actually exhibiting something that we'd like to call our kiosk mode. So essentially, we're able to lock the device down to only a very specific set of applications, a very specific background wallpaper, fully branded and to your desire. Right. So going back into, I'm just going to close this, going back into the console for a second, I'm actually going to take this device and I'm going to move it over into application deployment. So with our application deployment, what we'll be able to do is provide our drivers some productivity apps that they can utilize. Oh, and just take out my search. And going into my device, I'm going to just remote control this one, so you guys can start seeing the actual update of applications being pushed. So one of the applications that we pushed in is our settings manager. And this is one of the methods that we utilize, which is called package deployment. Our method of grabbing an application or a file or a folder and actually pushing it down to the device directly. The other way that we can do this as well is through something called application deployment. And we're utilizing, in this case, the Play Store to actually start pushing some of these apps. And you just notice File Explorer just got placed onto the device. So as my applications are installing, let's go back into the Mobi Control console and just see what else I can do with my device here. So I can click on my device. It will provide me all the details from it, all the information details, hardware and software details. So I can see, whether there's any users assigned to the device, what is the status, is it compliant, when was it enrolled, is it active, where actually is the device in my fleet here in my device groups. I can see all the configurations I applied to it that provide that end user that's very seamless experience that they see. I can see all the applications I have installed and whether I need to remove those applications manually or wipe any of the program data. I can also see the status, whether the application has been installed or uninstalled. So if the user has tried to remove the application, I am notified of that actually happening. Also can utilize our location. So within location here, we have the ability to set up geofences and actually locate our devices and track our devices. So what I'm going to do real quickly is I'm going to show you our geofence and what makes our geofence different from our competitors. So by clicking on geofence, I click on new geofence. My geofence essentially can be an entire polygon. It can be any shape I desire it to be. And currently I'm making a crown. I wouldn't really want to make a crown as my geofence, but it's a geofence I can create. I'm just going to cancel this for now. We can also see different data that we can collect from this device. So all this data is data that can be collected and can be shown underneath over here. So if I want to look for, let's go battery percentage, it will actually tell me what my battery percentage values were throughout the day between, January 16th all the way to today. And finally, I can see device logs. What has been happening to this device as it's being in use? And I can find out, wait, are there any errors? Are there any information? Has any of my configurations actually pushed down to the device itself? So going back to my device here, it looks like all my applications have been installed. But currently, I actually, this device is still fairly open, and the user can still do a little bit of damage if they wanted to. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move this device into one of our kiosks. So I'm going to create this, move this device into here. So now what's going to happen is that lockdown image, that lockdown I showed you before, that other device I was remote controlling, I'm going to show you one that I have created just specifically for this webinar. So here is an example of one of our lockdowns. So it currently comes down to 4 apps, something that's very easy and seamless for the driver to utilize, where they want to utilize the maps to, to find out where they are currently, to get some location, utilizing our SOTI Hub application, which is content management. Any of their driver manuals that they want available to them is all on their device. SOTI Surf, if they do need to browse in any sort of situation, it's all controlled in terms of what content they can view, and also SOTI Snap, which is our app development tool. So speaking of SOTI Snap, and just kind of looking back at some of the problems that we've kind of solved here utilizing our SOTI Mobi control, we've been able to fully secure the device down, have location. We've enabled driver productivity by providing the applications they need and simplifying it down in a secured manner for them to utilize. Now, the other thing I want to show you that highlights SOTI 1 is the utilization of our SOTI Snap. So I'm going to go into the SodiSnap console. And our SodiSnap console allows you to essentially create apps fairly quickly and fairly seamlessly. You don't need to be a developer for this, and it doesn't really, and in terms of developing an app that may shorten down a business process, usually it takes, 6 months to a year. We've cut that completely down utilizing this. So just give me 1 second as I log in. So here's the dashboard for SodiSnap. But the real cool part here is in the apps. And this is, I'm going to go over how we can actually build these apps out for you. Okay. So here I'm going to click on New App. I can add in an image. I'm just going to call this My App. And I can give a description if I want to be set up as a form or as a screen. I'm going to leave it as a screen, leave my theme over here as blue, and I'm going to save and continue. So now I'm in essentially my design mode. So here I can create and manipulate my app any which way I like. So starting from the left-hand side, we have our project, which is our main project here. We have our first screen. We also have a splash screen. So this is where when the app opens up, you can set an image, be it with your logo and so on and so forth. And then in our screen where we actually place in our widgets. And what I said when we don't require any coding, I really mean we don't require any coding. It's simple as easy as dropping one of our widgets into the field. So now I have a label. So this, let's say, is going to be something called a truck inspection. So if I need to, inspect a truck that is going from one destination to the other, I want to make sure that that truck actually is, there's nothing wrong with it before it leaves for its destination. So I'm going to make a form for this. So truck inspection. So what I want to make sure that I have the, let's see, the name of the carrier here. So in a text box, I'm going to put in here, what is the carrier name? Carrier name. I also want to have a date down for this. So where's a date picker? So I'll put a date picker. So let's say pick a date. Put some check boxes over here saying, broken windshield, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you can kind of see, like, as I start dragging and dropping these widgets into my design here, I can actually start manipulating how they, information that I want within my form. So actually, let's get out of this and let's see an actually fully formed application here that I've created, which is actually called truck inspection. So I'll go into vehicle inspection here, and here's my application. So what I can also do is set it to a tablet mode, as most drivers here are going to end up having tablets. And here you can see I've added in a, what is the carrier name, the date, where is the driver currently when they're doing this inspection, what is the truck number, the odometer reading, the driver's name, and also what are the defective items that they found on the truck itself. They can also take photos of where the damage is, because they may say something that, oh yeah, there's there's a crack in the windshield where there's actually a full-on hole in the windshield, or they're saying there's something wrong within the container and it's just a scratch where it's really someone actually, like, something's stuck in it. So now you actually have a visible representation of all of this information, and you have the driver's signature. So when they submit all this information, it doesn't have to go from a piece of paper to someone's hand to another person's hand before it reaches your desk. It automatically is provided to you right away. So let's see this application in action. So I'm going to go into SodiSnap through here. And I'm just going to have it. And then I'm just going to need to sign in to my device. So to sign in, I'd have to actually set up an enrollment ID, which is this one right over here. Okay. And now that my SOTI Snap app is loading up, I can see that vehicle inspection is on here. So I'm going to go into vehicle inspection. And here's my app. The same app I just showed you that I created within our SOTI Snap console, I can actually set up here. So I'm just going to give a trucking name here, a carrier name. So let's just go with this. I'm going to pick a date. So I'm going to click on for today. I'm going to get the location of my device. Sorry, press one part. Get the location. I'll also get the trucking number. What's the odometer reading? Who's the driver's name? So we have a list of name of different drivers. And then what is the actual issue? So I'm saying there's an issue with the body. There's also an issue with the tires and the windshield. So now I can actually, if I needed to, I can take photos of everything that's actually happening with the damage that's happened on the truck. I can take down some notes. Is damaged. I can place in a signature. So place in a signature. And I can click on submit. And that will take up all that information that I have in the SOTI Snap app. But if there is an issue that's happening within my app and I need to reach out to somebody, how can I do this? So notice there's a little help button I have over at the bottom corner. So I'm going to click on this. And this actually, what I've done with SOTI Snap is I've integrated another one of our SOTI One technologies, which is our SOTI Assist Help Desk solution. I've integrated that into this application. In case a driver does have any issues with their devices, they can create an actual support ticket. So I can click on the tablet here, and what it's going to do is I'll show me all the list of devices I currently have within Mobi Control. So let me look for my device, which is this one here. So let's grab that information. And now I can place a subject. This app is missing a check box field. Provide a description. It's going to just put some stuff in here. Set a priority level, saying it's minor, it's something we can add later, and I can submit the ticket. So as the ticket's being submitted, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to get a ticket ID, which you'll see right here on the bottom. And now what I'll do is I'm going to go and I'm going to actually go into SOTI Assist from here. I'm just going to embed new incident for this one. I'm just going to go into SOTI Assist. And SOTI Assist currently has an integration with our remote control. And if you do need to actually add any information that's actually happening from a troubleshooting perspective, you can add it in here. But if I go into Assist real quick, you'll notice that the ticket that I had created earlier for this application having some issues is actually right here. So I can actually go into the ticket. I can see that my description field has been added. I actually have a subject field and my ID. And we can continue filling this out from your IT help desk side and assign it to somebody to assist that driver when needed. That kind of goes over the demo of SOTI 1 from SOTI Mobi Control to Snap and also into SOTI Assist. Yeah, all right. So Nick, you can take it over.
Sure. So we're a little bit over here, about 5 or 6 minutes over. I just wanted to thank everybody for taking the time to attend this. If you have any questions about any of the products that you saw today, SOTI Assist, Mobi Control, or if you'd like to get a demo for your company, or if you'd like to get a trial, please reach out to us at Lowry Solutions, and we'll be happy to help. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Bye.